Hi everyone, Merry Christmas. It's 3 Men and a Whiskey and it's Christmas Eve. Santa is on his way. He's not making lists anymore. He's not checking them twice. He's on the job. He's currently somewhere over Yemen, according to NORAD, at the time that I'm making this video. He's on the largest breaking and entering spree the world has ever seen, and he does it every year, and we let him because we love him, because he delivers presents all over the world to those people who deserve them most. And I'm thinking I deserve some, because I have done 23 movies, 23 whiskies. It's a hard life, it really is. And which means I have one left, a 24th movie, a Christmas Eve movie. The movie that defines Christmas for me. It is my favourite Christmas movie. It's many people's favourite Christmas movie. And yet there are people out there, weird people out there, who still claim this is not a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie that is set on Christmas Eve. It's a Christmas movie with more Christmas trees, Christmas cheer, Christmas music, and Christmas hats, and even Christmas tape for wrapping your presents than any other Christmas movie I can think of. It's a movie about a guy who just wants to be reunited with his family. What's more Christmassy than that? It's a movie about hope. It's a movie about America and Americans defeating Eurotrash. Eurotrash played by and led by one of the greatest British/German villains of all time. It is, of course, time for Die Hard. And in recognition of this momentous day, the day that I watch Die Hard every year, I am wearing my Christmas hat. I have my whiskey, specially selected for Die Hard. I have NORAD Santa Tracker on my laptop just so I can check that Santa isn't missing anyone on his big journey. And I am wearing the most important t-shirt there is to wear. Because it's Die Hard time. I love this Christmas movie. I love it. Absolutely. I love it as much as Leslie Nielsen loves swimming in raw sewage. It is Christmas for me. And look, I know some people don't think it's a Christmas movie. I understand why they don't think it's a Christmas movie. They are wrong. It's a Christmas movie. And they just need to accept it. Okay? You don't have to watch it. You don't have to be like me. But, you're missing out if that's what you choose. Over the last 23 days, I've watched a whole host of Christmas movies. Old movies, new movies, American movies, British movies. Far too many Charles Dickens adaptations to count. And it's been fun. And I've really enjoyed doing this. And I hope you've enjoyed watching along as well. And if you do want to see other content in 2025, whether it's movie related, obviously it will always be whiskey related, but whether it's movie related or any other kind of pop culture areas, then just let us know, because we love doing this stuff. And as I am about to watch Die Hard, the 1988 classic with Bruce Willis and the truly awesome Alan Rickman in one of the greatest British villain roles in history, I need a whiskey to go with it. And you might think that because it's Christmas Eve, I would choose on my shelf the best whiskey I had, in recognition of the day, the fact that Christmas is almost upon us. But no, I'm going to stick to the task. The task was to try and pair a whiskey with each movie. And the whiskey that I've chosen to pair is one that I've never had before. I've just opened this bottle in the last 10 minutes and poured out my whiskey into my lovely glass over there. And it's not Scottish. It's not American. It's German. German whiskey. Who knew? I've had German whiskey before. I was not impressed, I've got to be honest with you. The only time I've had German whiskey. But this is from a different distillery. It's not just Germany. It's from Bavaria. A a distillery called Slyrs. I have probably pronounced that wrong. I apologise, because I am not German and I do not know how it is pronounced. But it is a Bavarian whiskey, a Bavarian distillery up in the mountains, up in the hills in Bavaria. And I chose this whiskey because, well, two reasons really. One, it's Bavarian. And if you've ever been to Bavaria, if you ever had the chance to go to Bavaria in the middle of winter, oh, good Lord, it's gorgeous. There is snow everywhere, picture postcard settings. Every village you go through looks like something out of a Christmas movie. It's gorgeous. It's as Christmassy as they come. So what could be better for Christmas Eve? But the primary reason I've picked this whiskey is because it's German. And in honour of the greatest German villain in movie history, played by a British actor, it felt like I should drink a German whiskey, even though I have my doubts, having had a bad experience previously. So, in honour of Hans Gruber, played expertly by Alan Rickman, I am going to drink this Slyrs Amontillado cask whiskey. And that's it. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to review the movie at the end. I think you know I'm going to like it, but I'll do it anyway. And I'm looking forward to having a go at this whiskey. I'm looking forward to giving this whiskey a try. I'm sure not all German whiskey is bad. It was just a bad experience I had. And hey, Amontillado cask, the best whiskey I've tried on this entire little journey I've been on was an Amontillado cask from Kavalan. So who knows? I am here to be surprised. Anyway, Merry Christmas. I'll see you in a few minutes, and yippee-ki-yay. Yippee-ki-yay indeed. What a movie. What a quotable movie. Not quite as quotable as Aliens, the most quotable movie ever, but it's up there, right? It's absolutely up there. And yeah, I love stories around the making of lots of these films, and Die Hard is another one that could have gone in lots of different directions. The studio was not confident about it. They were not confident because of Bruce Willis. They had an actor in an action hero role who had never played an action hero before. It's hard to believe, but Bruce Willis was a romantic lead. He had been doing romantic comedy on TV for a number of years, and that's how everybody in America knew him. They did not ever think of him as an action star. And everyone had got used to the likes of Arnie and Sylvester Stallone. And for Bruce Willis to pop up was, wrong for a lot of people. To the extent that the marketing people and the studio pulled all the posters that had Bruce Willis's picture on, and they just had a poster without his face on, because they were really not sure that Bruce Willis was going to sell this movie in any way, shape, or form. How wrong were they? He is so good in this film. I know I go on about Alan Rickman, and Alan Rickman is an absolute star, an absolute standout. He's one of my faves. But Bruce Willis is phenomenal in this film. He really is. He carries it all the way through. And again, it's alone for much of the film as well, which is hard to do. So fair play to him, fair play to Alan Rickman and everyone else involved in Die Hard. It is one of the all-time great Christmas movies. Is it the greatest? Look, it's my fave, right? It absolutely is my favourite Christmas movie. But when I think about how I'm rating these and how I'm ranking them, what I'm really looking for is the things that make a Christmas movie as Christmassy as possible. And while Die Hard is my fave, it probably isn't as Christmassy as Home Alone or The Snowman, for example, which I gave 12 to. And so I'm going to shock all my friends by not giving it 12, but it's not far off. I'm going to give it 11, which actually means that I've given all three of my final films 11 Piper's Piping, because that's the way I roll. It's very deserving of that. I still love it, but yeah, I do think that Home Alone and The Snowman surprised me. Home Alone in particular, that they've stood the test of time as much as they have, and are still absolutely beautiful, poignant, quality Christmas movies. So there you go. Whiskey wise, has my dislike of German whiskey continued? No, it's not. I can proudly say that through Slyrs Whisky, the Germans have redeemed themselves in my eyes. They've produced a really good quality bottle here. The Amontillado, I think, there's something about that Amontillado. There's so many different flavors that come through. I had this with the Cavalan. It's the same with this. It's very complex for again, for such a young whiskey. It's a bit spirity at times, which knocks it down, definitely. I think, again, that's the age. But it's a really good dram. Genuinely good dram. And it felt very Christmassy. As I sat there watching Die Hard, drinking my whiskey, I felt pretty darn Christmassy. So I was happy. Awesome. Well, and that's that. 24 movies, 24 whiskies, done, boxed off, and I can go and enjoy my Christmas turkey tomorrow. I say boxed off. There is one more whiskey that I am actually drinking. It's this one here. I'm having a 25th, which is got it here, a Glenallachie 10-year-old cash strength batch 9, which I'm having tonight because this is the whiskey that my daughter Sasha picked out to put out for Santa. And unfortunately, I received a text message today from the authorities saying that Santa had been told he was not allowed to drink and fly. So I am going to drink his whiskey, and I'm hoping that Sasha will understand. Or I just won't tell her, in which case everyone's a winner. Thank you so much, those of you who have watched these videos, put up with me and my ramblings, and thank you as well for liking, subscribing as always. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet and you've watched a couple of these videos, please do. It does help, and as it is Christmas, it will be a nice thing to do for me, JD and Pete. So yeah, please do that, and watch out for more videos as we get into the new year. I probably will post one more between Christmas and New Year, which will be the scores on the doors. Give everyone an update on, well, how did everything come out? What were the surprise scores and the surprise whiskies and things like that. So I'll do that at some point between Christmas and New Year. But otherwise, I think it's probably time I sign off. Santa is not far away. I was just checking NORAD, and he's maybe only about 30 or so minutes away from the UK, so I need to go and get tucked up in bed before I disturb him, because I don't want to be doing that. Lovely. Thank you, as always. Have a lovely Christmas and a great New Year if I don't hear from people. And yeah, cheers as always. Thanks.